Good morning, everybody. This is Jack Leeson with Startuptrading.com. It is 9 o'clock in the morning, New York time on September 16th, 2020, Wednesday, and our biggest economic news event for the week is going down. At 2 p.m., we have the FOMC economic statement on the federal funds rate, and then at 2:30, we have the FOMC press conference. Also this morning, we had retail sales, which were a little lighter than expected. This evening, we have the New Zealand dollar GDP followed up by the Australian unemployment rate and unemployment change. Also, we are going to have a monetary policy statement out of the Japanese yen. The yen has been getting worked here. The USD JPY is just selling off very aggressively. And then tomorrow morning at 7 a.m., we have the MPC monetary policy statement and the official bank rate for the Great Britain pound, as well as Canadian 80 non-farm employment numbers and U.S. unemployment claims. So there's pretty packed news events over the next 24 hours here for the markets. Now, Wednesday here, we do have oil. We do have oil. Wait, where is it? Wednesday's usually the oil inventory report, but I can not. There it is. Okay, 10:30 crude oil inventories. And that's why I've titled this video, Oil is on the Move. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there for a second. I've titled this video, Oil is on the Move, and I want to show you guys what really that looks like. Now, oil's been in this very tight consolidation, this wedge, and breaking out on the prior day. You had this, this triangle wedge looking thing, whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter to me, and we broke out of that and we've been ripping since. Now the important thing is to note what is really the first technical move in the direction of the trend, and I had that as a halfway back long for the week. Now that halfway back long for the week traded and completed its profit targets, and then we moved into an extension. That extension moved into its profit target, and then we have moved into a brand new extension. So we have an extension to extension here in oil. We are straight up above that extension. We can just continue to hold this. We've already been holding it for like 5 or 6 hours here. But we are bullish above 38.96, and then if we break 38.96, at some point in time, we do need to be aware of just that first extension anchor, as well as the possibility of a full 50% resistance at some point in the future. I don't know if we get that today, but with that oil inventory, that could just spike it down to a lower level of support. But oil is broken out here, and it's most likely, I think, that we get back to the top of the range, which is near 44. So that's, a pretty decent move from where we're currently trading. So I wanted to cover that first here today. Moving on, I'll just start off with the top of the markets I watch. We have gold in this wedge as well. Now, gold's wedge is a heck of a lot bigger than oil's. I've been going over this for a few days here. We are peaking. Yesterday, we opened literally at the top of that trend line touch. This right here, we were opening right at it. Now we have FOMC here today. That's definitely the catalyst for any type of a move. Well, guess what? We sold off right at the open, straight down in a series of traditionals. We were going into the morning yesterday with a bullish above the low from that European session to high that traded, it broke. We set up in a short that went straight to target. We had a next measure move that went straight to target. We had an extension to target, same anchor, new low, broke. And when that same anchor, new low broke, we basically had a double bottom. Out of that double bottom last night, there was a swing low, too high that traded in a front run to profit target. That pullback was at 2:20 in the morning, European session. We then had that swing low, too high trade, and that's on its way to target. So we will continue to be bullish above this halfway back long series at 1969.8. The full 50% would be below, but if we can continue to just hold this, we're just going to go rotate, go up, rotate, and go up, rotate, and go up. I have higher time frame targets up at 19.99 that I do think would complete today, pending the FOMC statement. Silver, this came straight. I don't know if you're in the Startup Trading chat room and you watch what I do with my laser setups. What I do is I basically take screenshots of setups that I really like. This one just traded. Sometimes these things happen before I get on the microphone, but I am in the room trading these in the morning. 27.45 was a full 50% retracement. This is what we needed to see. A break and confirmation of the halfway back long. Okay, we broke out of the short. We came into a full 50% retracement. 27.82 is the upside target, and that absolutely can complete today. 27.82, and we have a higher time frame target of $28, 28.13. There's multiple targets up there. 28.13, 28.17. From the halfway back today, 27.82. But really, we even have bigger targets all the way up at 29.79. And then there's one all the way up at 32. So there's nothing at this point but stacked targets. And if we can really clear this 27.80 here, I think silver is going to be a pretty technical breakout over the next coming days. Moving on to the Russell. Now, this is where the indexes get interesting. We are inside of these massive halfway back shorts. We're inside of them. And right now, the Russell's sequence has been an extension long. It's been an extension long, and that extension is from 1513.8. Now, we've already traded the 38.2. We had a perfect reaction. We traded the 50. We had a great reaction. We technically broke out of the short setup. Therefore, the halfway back long from lows is valid. All right? And that's at 1538.8. Also, within that bar, the hourly bar, there's a leg start. So 1538.8, we're bullish above at 1536.6. And if we break 1536.6, we could potentially make our way back through the higher time frame. But it's important, I really think, for the continuation here to stay above that 1536.6. If we break it, then there will be a valid setup short. So holding above those levels will continue us higher to our upside profit targets. Also, something to note here today, we had the VIX futures contract rollover. The S&P 500 came into there was this two different setups here, but basically, if you look at what was Sunday night that opened a high, that traded to its target. It then came into play again. And then this setup never traded. There's just a sloppy, this was the next measured move. This was the next measured move. It traded. We're going into close. We pierced it. But then we broke the short, retested the long, and confirmed it. Our upside target is 34.19 half. And if we complete 34.19 half, I'm just looking at the full halfway back long from the low of yesterday to high. The low of yesterday to high. But once again, we're inside of these higher time frame shorts going into FOMC. And this white box I have is the full 50% retracement short. The ES here is in an extension. ES is an extension. We haven't even traded the full halfway back short. I would absolutely expect this 34.40 area to be resistance when we trade it. Moving on to the Dow, which came off its, once again, halfway back for the week, that Sunday night low to high. We then broke out of our short setup, so we have a valid halfway back long here. 27,943 on a first test. The NASDAQ completed its target on the high. I kind of want to wait to see where we open here for the NQ because we've run right, oh wow, gold is ripping. We've run right back up into the retest of this higher time frame resistance. And out of that retest of the higher time frame resistance, we broke a long setup. And there's actually a short here that has participation. So actually first thing in the morning, I'm looking at this resistance level this 11,522, 521 area. But we broke the long sequence and we've been sold into it. So I don't know, I mean, as far as NQ support goes, before FOMC, I would still look at actually Monday's low to high, because this never really traded yesterday. So I'm just going to move it up. And that's a retest of the prior day's low. This is the only level I really trust as support. And we can rotate all the way back down there. See, we got this previous high here, the halfway back, previous low. So we've broken a trend. There's participation on those shorts. Oil already went over. We are cruising higher. Moving on to the currencies, the yen. When the yen gets, the USD JPY just drops heavy, gold typically rips. That's just, something that happens. We completed targets. Yesterday we had an extension. This was one of the best trades yesterday from the trade plan. We have gone completely through those targets here. 105.54 was front run by a pip. We broke the long. We set up an immediate short in the European session. We've gone straight down. We have an extension to extension. We're bearish below. Tuesday's low to low. 105.10, bearish below. Our resistance levels at 105.04. We're going straight down. And as I mentioned in yesterday's video, we got some targets much further below. 102.84. And that's something to keep in mind, because this does look like a pretty big breakdown. Look at the daily chart here. When we break down like this, gold can probably rip until we trade that 102.84. So that's why that's important. Because it's not only it's the USD JPY, but it's going to affect the price of the metals. They just, for whatever reason, they trade like that. They trade together. The Aussie dollar. Yesterday we had the full 50% retrace and long next measured move as part of our trade plan. That traded. We've rotated all the way back to highs. The only thing I'd look at is a halfway back long from lows, because we have an hourly leg start. 73.15. Euro is in a ping pong match. And this is what I've been saying. It's literally the short and the long. The short broke, the long broke. We retested the short, we retested the long. We retested the short. Now we're kind of middle of the range. A break out above 118.80s or below 118.34 will be the direction you're going to want to trade. Otherwise, it is a range until it breaks. The pound. Runner. Halfway back long. To target. We confirmed these targets by breaking our shorts. When we broke our shorts, we had our next measured moves. There is an extension from those. We need to stay above a 129.37 to go straight up. Otherwise, we're coming back into the halfway back long. There's also the possibility we hold yesterday's extension, but I'm just more interested in the deeper one, 129.47. And then the USD CAD is just inside of range similar to the euro, with resistance at 131.88. We're coming out of it, come back down. So bottom of that range is a 131.26. This one I'm kind of just in observation mode. Yesterday I tried to take the continuation. We were front run and then broke out and then retested the higher time frame. So that's all I'm watching there. But now we have a gold completion. We got our next measured move. 1977.5. That's going to wrap up this video. If you enjoyed the content, please give this video a thumbs up. Feel free to share with anybody you might think will find it useful. If you're interested in joining the Startup Trading Trade community, click the link below. It's absolutely worth it. I find it super helpful. Everybody trade safe. I'll share my levels with you guys in the room. Have a great day. Take care.